Hey friends, welcome back to Brilliant Thoughts. If this is your first time here, big welcome to you too. This is the place where we share ideas, books, and tips that can really spark your thinking. Today, we're talking about a super interesting book called Stock Trading Wisdom by Chen Jiang-ting. This book is like a treasure map for anyone who wants to understand the stock market better. It's full of simple but powerful ideas on how to stay calm, think smart, and make better trading decisions. Stock Trading Wisdom is written by Chen Jiang-ting, who brings together more than 2 decades of experience trading on Wall Street with a disciplined, human-centered view of markets. The author's background: engineering training, followed by international finance and many years working in the U.S. financial markets, shows through in the book's practical, experience-driven approach rather than in abstract formulas. His aim is not to sell a secret system, but to teach a way of thinking and behaving that makes long-term survival and steady gains more likely in the market. The book's structure mixes technical guidance with psychological insight. It covers the basics of stock analysis, fundamental and technical, the mechanics of timing buys and sells, position sizing and risk control, and a lengthy meditation on the human weaknesses that often sabotage traders: fear, greed, impatience, and overconfidence. Chen repeatedly emphasizes that trading is as much a test of character as it is of skill. The market exposes what is inside you. That focus on human nature and the imperative to respect the market is a core thread throughout the book. Stylistically, the book is concise and practical. It avoids heavy mathematics and instead uses clear charts, memorable rules of thumb, and real anecdotes from trading life to teach. Readers who already know basic stock concepts will find the book most useful. It assumes practical familiarity and then shows how to make decisions under real market stress. The book's tone is candid. It repeatedly warns against the seductive belief that past wins prove a method is timeless. 2 lessons recur: cut losses quickly, let winners run. These seemingly simple maxims hide profound difficulty in practice because emotional resistance makes many traders delay exits or prematurely take profits. Chen illustrates that most investor ruin comes from psychological mistakes rather than from the absence of technical tools. The remedy he offers is methodical rules and rituals, checklists, strict stop-loss discipline, and a habit of post-trade review that convert good intentions into reliable behavior. Why this book feels deep and why it moves you at its best. Stock Trading Wisdom reads less like a manual and more like a mentor's letter. It moves because Chen never treats trading as a sterile, money-only activity. He treats it as an apprenticeship in self-governance. There are 3 emotional currents that make the book linger. 1. The moral weight of capital preservation. Chen frames risk control not as dour frugality, but as an ethical responsibility to family, to future plans, and to the people who trust you with capital. When you read the passages on position sizing and survival, the language turns from technical to human. Protecting capital becomes protecting possibilities. That turns dry rules into acts of care. 2. The humility of survival. The book celebrates endurance more than glory. Chen prizes the trader who is still at the desk after 10 years, quietly improving, over the one who scores a spectacular early win and disappears. That humility, the quiet pride of showing up, learning, and adjusting, feels both modest and heroic. 3. Trading as mirror to character. The market has no malice. It reflects what you bring. This observation transforms losses from punishment into feedback. The book's moving scenes are often small, A trader taking a loss without drama because a rule exists. A notebook filled with short, honest trade postmortems. Those human rituals convert market chaos into learning, and that emotional metamorphosis is what makes the book emotionally resonant. Chen's voice is practical but compassionate. He tells stories where the technical advice and the moral lesson are braided together. A failed trade becomes a prompt for a rule change. A rash purchase becomes a lesson about boredom and peer pressure. The reader senses that the book is less about beating markets and more about becoming the kind of person who can live with markets without being broken by them. That is a deeply humane message, and it explains why many readers find the book memorable and affecting. Key lessons that matter, briefly restated: respect the market. Accept that change is constant. Yesterday's success does not guarantee tomorrow's. Is prioritize capital preservation. Survival is the precondition for any future gains. Yangs cut losses, let profits run, make exits rule-based to remove emotion. Etred rules and GT. Heroics. A simple, repeatable process beats brilliant but inconsistent instincts. How to make the book's theory real. A practical, step-by-step roadmap. Chen's wisdom loses power if it remains an intellectual exercise. Below are concrete, realistic steps to translate his ideas into everyday trading life. 1. Define your mission and horizon. Write down why you trade: income, capital growth, learning, and your time horizon. Your asset allocation and risk rules flow from this decision. 2. Set survival rules first. Before you think about returns, define how you will survive. Emergency cash, 3 to 6 months living expenses, a maximum portfolio drawdown you can tolerate, and a rule that no single position will risk more than X% of your capital, commonly 1 to 2%. This enshrines Chen's capital preservation ethic. 3. Use strict position sizing and stop losses. Calculate position size from risk amount and stop loss distance so a loss never exceeds your preset limit. Automate stop orders where appropriate to remove the temptation of "I'll watch it." 4. Create a pre-trade checklist. Before entering any trade, answer: A. Why now? B. What is the thesis? C. Where is the stop? D. Where will I take partial profits? E. How much capital is at risk? Treat this checklist as binding. 5. Keep a trade journal. Record entry, exit, thesis, emotions, and lesson. Review monthly. The small ritual of writing transforms random experience into usable knowledge. 6. Backtest the big rules, paper trade the small. Before betting capital, backtest major strategies on historical data and paper trade adjustments. Start small when you go live. Scale with consistent positive expectancy. 7. Limit leverage and margin. Leverage magnifies both gains and ruin. Use it sparingly and only with clear, tested rules. 8. Routine review and incremental improvement. Quarterly reviews of performance and rules, what worked, what didn't, keep you adaptive rather than stubbornly attached to past methods. 9. Train the mind, not just the system. Practice meditation, sleep hygiene, and scheduled breaks. Emotional regulation is as trainable as any technical skill. 10. Build a community of accountability. Share non-sensitive trade postmortems with a mentor or small group. Public commitments and peer feedback shorten the learning loop. 11. Protect against one big bet mentality. If a trade feels like your only chance, step back. It's likely emotional, not analytical. 12. Honor the process over outcomes. Praise yourself for following rules even when trades lose. Outcomes are noisy. Process is what compounds skill. Closing. From wisdom to habit. Chen Jiang-ting stock trading. Wisdom is not a promise of riches. It is an invitation to a practice. The book's deepest offering is ethical. Protect capital, cultivate humility, and turn market experience into disciplined improvement. To make that offer real, transplant the book's precepts into daily rituals, written rules, stop losses, journals, small-scale experiments, and regular reviews. Over time, those simple practices breed the kind of steady competence the book calls wisdom, not the dramatic heroism we see in headlines, but the patient, moral craft of surviving and improving in a world that will always change. If you follow that path, the market becomes less a place of vanity and more a teacher, harsh at times, generous in lessons. And the ultimate reward is not only profit, but the quieter, deeper growth in judgment and character that Chen so insistently celebrates. The end. If you'd like to see more reviews of best-selling books, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.